side of the buy, there is a sell. So Wyatt, I'm going to give you the floor first here. Who are you selling for the Chicago Bears this year?
I'm selling your Mr. 17 weeks, Andy Dalton, because there was simply no reason to bring him in. I mean, the guy. I don't think Justin Fields is starting week 1. He might be. I think he should. I absolutely think he should be. But the Bears make Bears moves. Don't forget that at the end of the day, they are the Bears. So I would not be surprised if they kept Andy Dalton in for 2 or 3 weeks. So I think that there's a really big possibility he gets a couple of weeks to start, and then once he f's it up so bad that the Bears, have to fight out of a 1-2 or 1-3, maybe even worse hole, and that's how Justin Fields has to start his career. At that point, I think is whenever everybody will see, okay, yeah, it's time for Justin Fields to come in. But yeah, I'm selling Andy Dalton. I don't think there's even a possibility that he starts half the season. If he started half the season, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Did Andy Dalton turn down a contract to play with his team that would have made him the highest paid quarterback and player in the NFL?
No, because Andy Dalton doesn't deserve that money.
Who did that?
This is from April. I'm sorry that Adam Schefter is a Bears fan and decided to release this now. That's a story from April, and he released it today.
Oh, okay. All right. Just wondering. You still didn't answer the question.
So, Combs, who are you selling?
But yes, that was.
I'm selling Tariq Cohen. I think Tariq Cohen's a gimmick back. I don't think they're going to use him much this year. I think with Justin Fields under center and also the signing of Damian Williams, which I think is going to turn out to be the steal of the offseason, I think Cohen ends up actually getting cut, if not before the season starts, at least by week 8. And he's looking for a new home. I just think that Tariq Cohen is one of those guys who, while yes, he's shifty and sometimes he can, break off a big run because he's fast. If he gets out in the open, the problem is he can't get out in the open. And I don't think that Tariq Cohen is going to see much of the field this year.
Yeah, and so looking at the comments here, Drew says Fields is not going to start till after the bye week. As I do agree with you, if Fields does,
Drew's got 14.
I mean, if Fields does start, it will be after the bye week, and so that's why I am 100% selling Justin Fields this year. I don't think he will be an impact on the team whatsoever. They wasted a first-round pick on a first-round bust, as again, which they did with Mitchell Trubisky.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing here.
What are you doing?
I'm not going to let you do this. I'm not going to let you do it. You're not going to get me fired up, Buck.
So Combs, the facts is that you guys moved up in the draft to draft a quarterback where people said that he has trouble reading routes. He has trouble doing this, and this, and this. And you expect him to start
his
week
big problem
1.
was that he holds onto the ball too long. He has a tendency to hold onto the ball too long.
Right.
I've said that since before the draft.
And is your guys' O-line very good? Absolutely not. You guys are bottom tier O-line. So a quarterback that holds onto the ball for too long and you have a bottom tier offensive line, that is why you have to sell Justin Fields 100%, Combs.